Struggling with stiff or sore knees during or after your rides? This 15-minute routine is designed to ease tension, restore movement, and give your knees the support they need both on and off the bike. No equipment needed, just yourself and a bit of space, perfect to do on a rest day or any day after a long ride. Okay, so we're starting off with some kneeling quad extensions just to get the knees warmed up. So come into this position here. If you can't come onto your toes, go onto the flats of your feet, wherever's kind of comfortable for yourself. And then all we're going to be doing is just raising up from this sitting position up to this position here. You're trying to use the quads as much as we can, just staying upright, nice and gently. You can always hold on to something if you want to as well. This is just going to help to warm up the knees that little bit. You could also do some squats instead too. We're just going to do this for a minute just to kind of get the quads warmed up, the knees warmed up. That's going to help us sort of get deeper into those knees and the hips and all the stuff around the knees in a minute or so. So do give this the full minute just to get everything moving. Really important before we do kind of stretch out anything intensely anyway, we warm up at least a little bit. Warmer muscles, more pliable. Think of a rubber band. You wouldn't stretch a cold rubber band and expect it not to snap, so we want to warm things up beforehand. Perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stick one leg out in front and then sit down and have another leg, the leg we're working, back like so. And then all I want you to do is just lean back as far as you can. What you should do is start to feel a nice stretch down this front quad here. Take nice, big deep breaths. We're just going one leg at a time. So this whole session, this whole kind of workout, we're going to focus on one side, and then we're going to repeat it again for the other side. So we're going to go right side first. Nice stretch on the quad, on the hip flexor, down here at the front. Again, quads can get quite tight whilst we're riding, or if you spend a lot of the day sat at a desk as well. So this is going to be a really useful one for those. And again, knee pain can sometimes, not always, but be caused by tight quads, tight hip flexors, kind of pulling on the kneecap. And then we're going to move over to the hamstring. So we're going to stand ourselves up, again just focusing on this right leg here. Going to come into this position, right leg out in front this time, so we're still working that right leg. Sitting on this back leg as ever is comfortable. You can always put a cushion under your hips if you need to. And we're just leaning forwards over this front leg. Should feel a nice stretch down the back of this front leg, hitting the hamstring. Again, yes, we're focusing on the knees here, but the knees are a fairly simple joint. There isn't too much going on there. Of course, your knee pain could be caused by something at the joint, arthritis, for example, but often it's caused by inadequate strength, mobility in other areas around it. So that's what we're focusing on. Stretching out that right hamstring. Nice big deep breaths. Just leaning forward. You can do little pulses like I am if you want to as well. Just feel that deep stretch in that right hammy. Lovely. And we're going to stick on this right leg and we're going to come up like so. In fact, we're going to have this right leg back because we're working this right leg here. And then all we're going to do, keeping our hips level, is just pushing forwards. Again, we're going to come in and out of the stretch, just nice and steady, not pushing too hard. And each time you kind of push into the stretch, go that little bit further. Should feel a nice stretch down your hip flexor again, and down the front of this back leg here, on the right hand side again. Ease into it. Knees at around about 90 degrees. Facing forwards, nice and level. Good stuff. And again, you might have heard it in some of my other videos, when we're stretching, you want to take nice deep breaths the whole time. If you find you're holding your breath, then that's sort of signaling to your central nervous system that things are quite intense and it'll lock up. So lock those muscles up. So relax, nice big deep breaths. And then we're going to go into some adductor rocks. So now we're going to, again, focusing on the right leg, we're going to come down into this all fours position like so. You're going to put your right leg out, and then all we're going to be doing, keeping this heel and sort of the ball of your foot on the floor, you're just going to come back, sit yourself back. If you don't feel it too much in your adductor, in here, then just push that foot out further or extend your knee further that way. Nice, just sitting back. The further you sit back, the more you should feel it stretch out the adductor inside the hip, inside the groin. Again, this will get quite tight if we're on the bike because our legs are in just a sort of forward back position. We're not going side to side. And again, knee pain can be caused by other areas. If our knee's not tracking right because we've got tight hip adductors, then again, something we need to work on. Lovely stuff. Perfect. Then we're going to come up into this position here. So we're going to sit, get our sit bones on the floor. We're going to have our heels on the floor as well, our knees out. Looks a little strange, looks like we're about to give birth, but this is the position we're going to be in. Then we go focusing on this right leg, lean back on your hands, and then all we're doing is moving this right knee. We're going to go all the way out, as far as you can, all the way in, squeeze in. So all the way out, squeeze out, all the way in, squeeze in. Don't worry about the left leg, we're going to do that next round. All the way out. So we're generating the mobility at the hip. Hip stays where they are. To make it tougher, pull your hands, push your hands in, sit further upright. You should feel it more in your hip that way. All the way out, all the way in. Good work. Go for one more. Lovely stuff. And then we're going to come on to left leg forward, right leg back. So the leg we're working is at the back, our right leg. And then all we're going to be doing in this position, you can lean further off to your left. That's going to make it easier. If you're upright, it's going to make it harder. And all we're going to be doing is raising this back heel off the floor. You're not going to be able to raise it too high. You might cramp up in your glute here. So we're going to raise it up and then relax. Raise up, relax. Even if you can't raise it off the floor because your mobility is not brilliant, that's fine. Just imagine you're pulling your heel up and back. You should feel it all in here, in the glute medius. Again, if we can light this area up, strengthen the glutes, working on internal rotation here. If we've got more internal rotation, again, potentially less likely to have knee pain because our hips are more mobile and can help our knees track a little bit better. Good work. Last one. Relax there. Cool, final exercise before we do all the same on the left leg. Final one we're going to do is we're going to do some tibial rotation. So we're going to keep our knee where it is, and then all we're going to do is twist our foot all the way to the left, twist our foot all the way to the right. So you'll be able to go further out to the outside than the inside, but come all the way inside, all the way outside. You can even put your hand around your shin. You should feel your bones sort of twisting in your shin all the way out, all the way in. Again, another thing that could potentially cause knee pain is a lack of what we call tibial rotation, just the inability for your tibia to kind of twist under your knee. Because yes, the knee is what we call a hinge joint, it just moves forwards and backwards, but it does rotate a little bit as well. The tibia does rotate around the knee. So we're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Good work. Now we're doing exactly the same on the left hand side because we don't want to cycle around in circles, do we? Or have one leg stronger than the other. I'll come this way. So we're going to go left leg back, right leg out this time, and then just lean yourself back as far as you can, stretching out this hip here. So I'll guide you through the left hand side again, but taking nice big deep breaths again. Just relaxing. You might find that either your left or your right is more mobile, more flexible, or less mobile, less flexible. You'll find it tougher on one side than the other. That's completely normal. We're often one-sided. It's rare that we're completely even. And the unfortunate thing is our bikes are a symmetrical machine. They move in a set path, whereas our bodies aren't often symmetrical. So that's why it's important to get something like a bike fit. If you do have knee pain, we can be as mobile and as flexible as we want, but we're never going to be completely cool in terms of being symmetrical. So we're going to come up into the hamstring. Need to stop talking, concentrate on the hamstring. So we're sitting up again, just leaning over that front leg, stretching out the back of that front leg here, down that hamstring. If you feel it more in the calf, you can point your toes down. It's going to take out some of the calf. Try and keep your chest up as much as you can. You will round your back a little bit naturally. Nice big deep breaths again. Ease into it. Over each minute we're doing each stretch, just trying to ease into it a little bit more, progress further each time. Perfect. Then we're going to come up into this hip flexor stretch again, like we were doing before. Sorry, change legs, always go the same one. So we want to have the working leg back. So left leg at the back, pushing forwards, taking your time. Good work so far. Brilliant. So we've got about 30 seconds left on this one, and then we're going for those adductor rock backs again. So knee on one side, foot out the other, pushing backwards. Lovely stuff. Again, over the sort of 7 minutes we've worked on each leg, you should be feeling things gradually ease up. And again, you've noticed that this is a knee-based session, but we haven't actually done lots of stuff at the knee because, again, the knee is a joint. There's not much you can do there. It's working on the muscles around the knee that's important. Awesome. Let's go into those adductor rock backs. So this time we've got the right knee on the floor, and then left leg out to the side. Whole foot on the floor, and we're pushing back like so. Feeling that stretch down the adductor, down the inside. Lovely stuff. Knee pain is super common. Knee pain is something that I struggled with actually for years as a teenager. Only fairly recently actually sort of came to the conclusion that my knee pain was actually caused by a lack of strength in my quads. So my glutes, I always kind of had like a strong glutes or a big bum, and my glutes were kind of overdeveloped, always taken over. So my quads never really got much of a look in, even on the bike or when I was doing strength work. So strengthening my quads really helped with my knee pain. But again, everybody's different. Perfect. Let's sit in this strained position again, where our heels are out, up nice and upright again to make it tougher, sit more upright to easier, lean back. And then we're just going to go left leg all the way in, left leg all the way out. Try not to rock with the hips, twist with the body, keep the hips still. It's just the knee that's moving all the way out, all the way in. Brilliant work. I actually also just showing all my problems on this stretch. I have quite an impinged hip on my right hand side, so my left leg goes a lot further than my right. You might find the same, you might not. Good stuff. We're going for those hip internal rotations next. So we're going to come with our right leg forward, left leg back, but we're working this left leg. Again, make it harder, sit more upright to make it easier. Lean all the way over to the right. Then we're going to bring that heel up, squeeze, 3, 2, 1, and then let it come back down. Ease off, back up. Let me know in the comments if you do cramp up. Very, very common because we're not commonly in this position. Quite uncomfortable. It's quite an important position to be strong in there. Good stuff. 20 or so seconds left on this one, then we've got that tibial rotation again, and then that's us done. Perfect. Last one or two. Nice, relax there. Then again, just sitting upright. And all we're doing, keeping the heel in a nice straight line, hip, knee, heel in line, hand around your shin, just so you can feel things. And then all you're going to be doing, twisting your foot all the way out, keeping that knee straight, not moving the knee, all the way out and all the way in. Working on that rotation. Make sure it's not stuck. You can as well in your own time kind of play around with this too, so you can kind of move your foot all the way in Then extend the knee, then all the way out, then bring the knee back. So you can kind of just work on mobilising things up a little bit. Ten seconds to go. Last one. Hopefully feel your knees easing up a little bit potentially. 3, 2, 1. And relax there. Thanks so much for following along. Hopefully your knees feel the benefit from that now. Strength and mobility work is so important for helping to prevent injuries such as sore knees. Do check out in the description below my free strength training workout specifically built for cyclists to help protect us from injuries, but also generally improve our strength overall. Warming up before a ride is also super important to help prevent injuries and will also help your knees as well. Do check out my powerful 5-minute warm-up to complete before your next ride. Ride strong, and I'll catch you in the next one.